Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. And today is a day that's ruled by the second chakra and guided by spirit. And the galactic signature for today is the white planetary wizard energy. And so the white wizard energy is all about enchanting, timelessness, and receptivity. So we're being asked to be receptive today, to create magic, to be enchanted and to be enchanting, and to radiate all of our beautiful wisdom through this heart center. We're also being invited to step into timelessness today, to really anchor ourselves in this present moment, understanding that from this present moment, we can travel anywhere we wish in time, right? Because time's an interesting concept altogether, and we get into this a lot on here, right? Because really everything is happening in an infinite now. And so when we center ourselves in that infinite now, we can experience that feeling of timelessness, and we can access any moment in time. I wanted to read you guys something about the white wizard energy today because I just thought it was really beautiful, and I think that everybody is going to absolutely appreciate and enjoy this little synopsis that I found online here. And so I know a lot of people are curious about the galactic signatures and all of the stuff that we talk about on here. You can absolutely go to 13moon.com and get yourself a galactic calendar. And there's a few different resources that I use when I do these videos. And so the one that I'm using today comes from a website called astrodreamadvisor.com. And so they have a lot of really great write-ups on the different galactic signatures, the different tribes, the different tones and energies. So I definitely recommend that to people. A lot of times what I do when I'm looking up these energies, just to get a fuller and a richer perspective of them, is I just Google like today is white planetary wizard. So I Google white planetary wizard affirmation, and that gives me the affirmation that I read to you guys. And it also gives me a lot more information. Sometimes there isn't something put together on every single one of these different galactic signatures. And so then I use a little formula that's given to sort of create the affirmation. But you'll find a lot of them on here on these different resources. And so I really do like Astro Dream Advisor. And I'll throw out some different things when they come up of sort of where I'm sourcing some of this information from. And so we want to also remember with this White Wizard Day, this is also a reminder that our words are spells, and to be very cognizant of our words and the spells that we are casting with our words. And we're going to get into the astrology a little bit after this, and with that Chiron conjunct Mercury action we have going on right now, we want to be especially careful with this, and we'll get more into that later. But yes, we are also working with this, looking at the spells that we're casting in all areas of our lives with this planetary tone, which is about perfecting and producing our manifestations. We want to use our words. We want to use those spells that we are casting in order to perfect our manifestations and produce the manifestations that we wish to create, right? And remember, thoughts are words that haven't been spoken, and our thoughts are just as powerful or almost as powerful as our words. And so paying attention to the mind today and every day, but especially today when we're in these energies, we're also still in a portal type energy today, and so very, very magnified. Our thoughts are words, and just paying attention and working with that and crafting with that what it is that we want to most experience, and being receptive to what is coming in for us as a result. And so we're going to get into this now. It says, White Wizard is the magician whose powers are activated by wisdom that emanates from the heart. Such wisdom is not the intellectual understanding known in Western culture. It is the wisdom that comes from an alignment of mind and heart. An open, trusting heart is a refined tool of perception. Allowing yourself to not know opens the door of the mind to a deeper understanding of the universe. White Wizard asks you to fully utilize this aligned mind to participate in magic. White Wizard invites you to step into self-empowerment. Empowerment comes from self-acceptance, integrity, and commitment to your evolution. Self-empowerment is not to be found outside oneself. Anything outside that brings you empowerment also has a divine foundation within you, okay? I want to read that part again. Anything outside that brings you empowerment also has a divine foundation within you. If you feel a need for the approval of others, look to self-empowerment. When you feel effectively engaged, doing what gives you joy, your energy naturally expands to include more of who you are, and magic flows synchronistically into your life. Claim your alignment with the highest wisdom. Call forth divine action in all that you do. Align your own will with divine will and your essence self. Be transparent, innocently allowing magic to come through you rather than needing to create it. That's the receptivity, right? Open to heart knowing and limitless possibilities. White Wizard is a tool of the light, a conduit for the work of spirit. A wise magician is spontaneous and transparent, allowing magic to come in rather than trying to control it or make it happen. A magician dances the dance of love through offering gifts of freedom to others. This is real magic. Freed from the need to use power to manipulate or control. A magician uses wisdom to manifest liberation and love. The harmonic wisdom of White Wizard is melody, the progression of single tones within a composition. White Wizard symbolizes the sacred journey of your individual life. As a harmonic magician, you are a novel yet universal container for the expression of the divine. While you play the melody of your journey's spirit song, the creator provides the harmony. Melody is to music what storyline is to story. Utilize the elements you have chosen for exploration in your life. Your gifts, talents, abilities, motivations, circumstances, and the other characters in your play. Orchestrate the most interesting and growth-engendering storyline from this combination of possibilities. Understand that you are the player and the played in the melody in your life. So yeah, I thought that you guys would enjoy that. And then we're going to go into the affirmation for today, if I can pull it up here. And the affirmation is, I perfect in order to enchant, producing receptivity. I seal the output of timelessness with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of spirit. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. All right. And as we move into the astrology today, we do have some magical, we have a kind of a magical conjunction happening here between the moon and Jupiter today. And so this is really gorgeous energy. This is really fortuitous energy. We're feeling, it's an inspiring energy. We're feeling inspired. And the moon, after making this conjunction, excuse me, to Jupiter, moves on into the sign of Pisces later today, which continues that mystic sort of feel. So we get that hit of inspiration from Jupiter, that hit of luck, if you will. And then we move on into the sign of Pisces, into this beautiful, magical, mystical energy. So really utilizing that and making the most of that today. I did mention also this conjunction that we have going on between Mercury and Chiron today. And this is happening in the sign of Aries. So we talked about this a little bit yesterday. This can be a bit of an intense energy. Aries is a very forceful, very blunt type of energy. And so we want to, this does give us the potential to have really healing conversations right now, to really take the healing process that we are going through and to speak it out loud, to also write it down, to create something with it, right? Any way that we can get this energy out, that we can communicate this energy is going to be very helpful for us. We just want to be mindful of how it is that we are communicating that. We want to make sure that we are not being too bold and brash. But we do want to take this empowering Aries energy in order to possibly have those hard conversations that we haven't wanted to have. If there's something that really needs to be spoken and having that conversation is going to be healing for us, this energy is very beneficial in giving us the strength that we need to do that. Like we said, we just want to make sure that we temper that. We have a lot of the same astrology going on from yesterday, so I'm not going to get into all of that, and I will be getting that new moon video out today, so we'll be talking because we are warming up into that energy. But those are the major energies that I think we're going to be feeling and are going to be influencing us as we go about our day. And let's see, interesting. I'm wanting to use the Urban Tarot today. Clear. So what do we have? What guidance do we have? What's going on for us today? Wednesday, April 7th. All right, first card we have out is Success. So we like that. We like that. And that would be the Six of Pentacles. And then we have the Hermit coming out. and the Five of Pentacles, worry, okay? Yeah, let's get a little more on this. Let's get a little more on this energy. And then we have the Empress. All right, so this is, I think, sort of a continuation as we're moving into that energy of we're really looking at, I think a lot of us, there's been a lot of energies that we've been releasing. There's been a lot of heavy collective energy going on. Many of us, especially during this week, during this portal energy, may have felt ourselves needing to pull back our energy from people, from situations, and just really go within and go into that silence, go into that quiet place within ourselves. And there may have been things that have been stressing and worrying people. For some people, this may have to do with finances. For some people, this is also just plans that you had that may not have been coming through. Some people may have been experiencing health scares lately. As I'm looking at this card, I'm noticing the doctor and how he's pointing at the x-ray and everything, right? So health stuff, finances, relationships, situations, there's just a lot of energy where some of us have been kind of getting pulled into that stress and that worry energy. And that may have been another reason that some may have pulled back their energy, is just because we're kind of, whether this is something we're directly experiencing or whether others in our lives are experiencing this energy, or we're just feeling that coming up in the collective energy. But with the Empress and Success flanking these two cards, I'm really feeling as though something like there's going to be beneficial news where this is concerned. Like something good is going to come out of this energy. Like whatever it is that we've been stressing and worrying about, there is a solution. There is a solution at play, and there is sort of a rebirth with this Empress card of this energy. For some people, I'm noticing how she's a mother and she's caring for a child. And so for some people as well, there may have been just worry and stress around your children. For some people, around providing for children. Just issues with family as well. Family struggles. Family health, maybe. Just a lot of different energies that we've been experiencing and trying to sort and sift through here. And then we have the Queen of Swords. And in this deck, she's the painter. Right? And so this is very much that artistic, intuitive energy. So really getting into that creative place, finding some sort of creative outlet for a lot of this stress, I feel, is going to be helpful. And maybe for some people, these perceived challenges that you've been going through are really going to pave the way and provide some creative, like, I feel like some people are going to need to find a creative outlet for all of this energy. And that's actually going to be very beneficial for you ultimately, because it's going to lead you to something, some sort of project, it's going to produce something really beautiful. It's almost like, even though this energy is painful, it's like your muse in a way. And then we have Fortitude. And so really developing that emotional and mental and spiritual fortitude right now. Yeah, and once again, you see he's pushing the cart and he's out in the cold and he's alone. And so, yeah, a lot of that loneliness energy I'm feeling too. Like people have been dealing with that and working through energies of that. And all of these, and this came up, I think, in the reading the other day when we were talking about this initiation that a lot of people are going through. This kind of heavy energy that we're experiencing, that we're moving through. And so I'm seeing a lot of that energy, but the ways that ultimately that energy is leading to success. Yeah. And then we had the Queen of Cups here, the therapist. And she came out inverted very clearly. And so I'm going to leave her that way. And so I'm feeling like there is some guidance here that's saying, like, if you have not, like, I feel like there are people who feel as though they don't have anybody to talk to. They don't have anybody who understands what they're going through. And they perhaps are either having trouble, or you do, and you're having trouble opening up to those people. Because there's this energy of feeling like you have to go it alone, is sort of what I'm getting. And I think that's part of the energy of what a lot of us are healing right now. I know that I can absolutely relate to this in my own personal life, going through this energy, this sort of, it's almost like this badge of honor that some of us feel like we have to wear, that says, like, I can do this all myself. I can handle this myself, right? But sometimes, like, we do need the support of other people. And then we have the Aeon and sorrow. And they came out together like this, and I flipped them, but then I decided to leave them. And so this is moving out of that energy of sorrow. And this is moving into a different kind of energy here. I feel like with this card right now, you notice the way there's this wall, and it's like a list of names, and she sees a reflection in the wall, and that reflection looks from a different time period, right? And so I'm definitely feeling us also some of the stuff that we're healing right now are things that we're healing for our ancestors, things that we're healing from past life energy, like we were talking about the collective energy a little bit, right? All of these different aspects, not necessarily even stuff. It's like we're starting to see and realize and understand how a lot of the experiences that we're having in this lifetime didn't start here, right? They're experiences that we're healing for our ancestors, for different aspects of ourselves in other lifetimes, right? I'm feeling like healing that sorrow for our ancestors, for the collective, for our lineage, healing those past life sorrows and trials and tribulations. And part of what we're healing too, so we're healing like the feminine, right? Which is allowing ourselves to experience our emotions, right? To allow those to become a strength, a virtue. And then we're also healing the masculine, and we're healing this aspect of the masculine that feels ineffectual or feels like he has to be overly effectual and completely numb out his feelings, right? And so as we heal that aspect of our masculine that feels as though they can't feel, we heal that by tapping into our feminine, which is feeling, right? And yeah, so that I think is a journey that a lot of us are embarking on right now. And then we have the star, which is healing, right? Healing that energy. And then we have power and we have indolence here. And the indolence would be the Eight of Cups traditionally. And so I'm definitely feeling like this. We're healing and we're taking back our power. We're taking back our power and we're overcoming a lot. I feel like for many people, it's like, look at this card right now. Like we've either found ourselves in some aspects, sometimes sort of sinking into old behaviors or sinking into this energy of like wanting. It's like we're forgetting at some moments the incredible healing that is available to us, like that connection, right? And we're looking for other coping mechanisms, other ways to sort of like numb out maybe, or avoid having to deal with whatever it is, all of this intense and heavy energy that's coming up for healing. And so we can do this in a lot of different ways, right? We can overwork ourselves. We can, of course, indulge in drink or other substances. We can numb out with TV. We can numb out with social media. There's all different ways that we can sort of disconnect ourselves. And so there has been some energy of disconnecting from ourselves. And so I think we're healing. We have the Sun on the bottom of the deck here. And then the Ace of Swords, which is that clarity, right? And so we are healing. We're healing these tendencies. We're getting ready to, if we have been avoiding facing the things that we need to face, we're kind of turning that energy around. And I think for some of us, it's like we have been facing it. It's just at times we've needed to unplug in different ways, or we felt as though we did, because there was just so much that was coming up. And sometimes it's okay to distract ourselves a little bit, right? As long as we're not avoiding the healing work, sometimes we need a little bit of distraction. I mean, I will sit and sometimes I'll watch a few hours of Netflix at night just to sort of disengage my brain. Could I be doing more constructive things? Absolutely. But it's a way that I can sort of just shut my mind down for a little while. And just it is disconnection, right? It absolutely is. But sometimes that's okay. Sometimes we do need that. But we are getting ready to to really acknowledge and understand and walk away from the things that are sapping our strength, the things that are sapping our power. It's a lot of the habits, a lot of these old habits, a lot of these old belief systems, a lot of these old ways of doing things that we're healing, not only for ourselves and our ancestors. We're getting ready to walk away from those. We're getting ready to have the power, or to tap into that power that exists within us to overcome any of these tendencies and any of these old, deeply ingrained and rooted patterns. And then there's a beautiful energy coming through for us as a result. And we notice the child again. We've been talking a lot about the inner child healing too. And if you guys want any assistance with this, please reach out to me. There's a couple different things we can do that can really powerfully help to shift this energy and just be like an added resource. Clear. All right, let's get some closing guidance from the Archangels for today. Okay, so we have Archangel Azrael coming through and saying, it is time to let go, prepare for change. So that's that Eight of Cups energy, that walking away energy, that releasing, that surrender energy. What is it that you're ready to let go of? And notice how she's holding a baby here, which I think is really interesting. So is this new creative cycle? Is this you and these aspects of your young self receiving healing? Is there an actual baby for some of you? We've had 2 cards with babies in them. And then we also have Archangel Sandalphon. Tune into your divine potential, bring the world into harmony. If we want to bring the world at large into harmony, we must first bring our own worlds into harmony, right? And I notice here he's playing the flute, and we talked about the music. There was a lot of allusions to music when I was reading that part from the White Wizard energy. So I find that really interesting. And so music, maybe people may be finding music very healing right now. There may be something going on with music, messages coming to you from your angels through music. Some of you may be creating music. That may be some of this creative energy when we talked about this pain being your muse. So yeah. For some of you, a child is your muse. But there's a lot going on with the music. So pay attention to music. Pay attention to different times when you notice music and sort of let that lead you and guide you. Yeah, because there's definitely messages coming in through the music. And this energy, your angels are also like wanting you to know and understand that you don't forget who you are. Right? When it says tune into your divine potential, you are an infinite being of light. And even in these times when a lot of this energy feels so heavy, right? And we start to forget again, it's like we begin to remember and then we start to forget. They're like, don't forget, tune into that, tap into that. That resides within you, and you have within you everything that you need to move through and heal from all of these energies, right? To wrap up these cycles, to shift and transmute this energy. You have that within you, and you have an incredible divine potential that is in the process of being realized. And sometimes we give up right before the miracle happens, right? And so this is saying don't give up before the miracle happens, because it's so close. The miracle is happening, right? The miracle is here. It's just sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, right? But there are major changes and major shifts coming. And then we have Archangel Zariel, and he is sitting with 2 wolves. Give and receive love, obey the spiritual laws. And so he's reminding us to stand in our integrity. He's also, whenever with these 2 wolves here, I really see too, it's that energy that we talk about a lot, like which wolf are you feeding, right? And so we have fear and we have love. We have the lower self and we have the higher self. So which energy are you feeding when you allow yourself to tune into your divine potential? When you have those quiet moments where you connect with your heart, right? Today's a big day about creating magic through connecting with the heart. When you're able to do that, to tune into your divine potential, to tune into the truth of who you are, right? I am. Then you're able to feed the wolf, the right wolf. Or I can't say the right wolf. Either one is going to teach us something. We're going to learn and we're going to grow from that. But the easier and more graceful wolf, I guess you could say. And so, yeah, just practicing that energy of giving and receiving love, right? that is a really great way to move ourselves out of a heavier energy, is just to give, to be in that place of service, of spiritual service. That always makes me feel better. That always helps to shift my vibration. When I do these videos for you guys, different things, it really helps a lot. Yeah. One final card. Okay, we got two. Of course we did. And so we have Archangel Darenka, and she comes out a lot too. Hone your psychic abilities, see through illusion. And then we have Archangel Charity. Give with an open heart, be generous, right? So that energy, that giving energy, she's just coming through and confirming that. That's going to be really helpful for people today. If you are feeling like you're in this heavier energy, go out and give. Go out and pay it forward. Do something kind for somebody else and watch how that energy shifts your own vibration. And yeah, there is, right, see through illusion. It's like a lot of this heavier stuff, a lot of these challenges and obstacles, a lot of these things that are coming up for healing right now, right? We have to be able to see through the illusion of that and understand that you are growing, you are evolving, right? This is all happening for your benefit, and you have everything within you to move through this circumstance. And just know that even if you see chaos, there's order underneath it. Even if you see what you perceive to be ugly, there is beauty within that. So look for the beauty, look for the order, look for the love that underlies everything, and allow that to be your guide, and really utilize your own intuition, your own psychic senses to feel beyond what it is that you're seeing on the outside, right? Yeah, I like that. And then I love on the bottom of the deck here, we have Seraphim Seraphiel. Tune into the divine will, open to higher illumination, right? So once again, tapping into that divine will, we talked about that in the galactic energy for today as well, right? Merging the will with the divine will, and really seeing what happens when we do that. And I'm going to read this for you, actually. Seraphim Seraphiel. And we may have read this the other day. A lot of these, that's when you know the energies are consistent, right? Because we get so many of the same cards. There's tons of cards in these decks, you guys, but we get so many similar ones. The same ones come out for us over and over again. When Seraphim Seraphiel comes to you, he is inviting you to step up your light. Imagine what your life will be like if you opened your heart completely. Then act as if it is fully open. When you do so, Seraphiel will bring you inner peace, happiness, healing, abundance, and love. Expand your heart and receive his illumination. This card is also a call for you to tune into your higher self and listen to the divine will. Then do whatever needs to be done to harmonize with the divine blueprint for your life. When you do this, your life will be enriched beyond your wildest imaginings. All the help you need is pouring into you now. I love that. That's beautiful. And if you guys want assistance with this heart healing and heart opening, that's what the Belvaspata that I do. It's really, really good for that. So please reach out to me for that, as well as if you're interested in the Theta healing or any of these things that I offer. They can really help a lot. Yeah. And then Archangel Garissa underneath that. Create a solid spiritual foundation. Be in service to the planet. That's what we're doing right now. Even if it seems as though our foundation is crumbling, we're actually building up even stronger than it was before. And so just know that, and know that this process may be confusing sometimes. That's why we have to see through the illusion. It may not, progress does not always look like progress. All right? But it absolutely, absolutely is. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Comment down below. Let me know how today's going for you. Hit that like button if you like this video. It definitely helps. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.